Let me ask you something that might be slightly uncomfortable. When was the last time you went a full week without ordering food delivery? Not because you were traveling, not because something unusual was happening in your life, just a regular, ordinary week at home. No DoorDash, no Uber Eats, no Grubhub. Just you, a grocery store, and whatever you decided to cook for yourself. If you had to think about that question for more than 3 seconds, this video is specifically for you. And I want you to do something before we go any further. Open your DoorDash app right now. Go to your order history. Scroll all the way back to the beginning of this year or 12 months ago if the app allows it. And add up, what you have spent in the last 12 months across every single order. I will tell you what most people find when they do this for the very first time. It is not $200. It is not $400. It is not even $800. For a person who orders 2 or 3 times a week, which is far more common than most people are willing to admit, the annual total lands somewhere between $3,500 and $7,500 depending on where you live and what you order. And the reaction when people see that number, almost universally, is silence. A quiet, slightly cold private shock. Because nobody sat down and made a deliberate decision to spend $5,000 or $6,000 on food delivery this year. It just happened. One tired Tuesday at a time. One reorder button at a time. Invisibly, automatically, and without a single moment of real financial reflection at any point during the year. My name is Kevin, and I spend way too much time thinking about the DoorDash trap. How I spent $6,000 on food without noticing. If you are someone who genuinely does not know what you spent on food delivery last year, someone who uses the apps regularly, considers them a completely normal and unremarkable part of daily life, and has never once sat down and added up the annual total, make sure to hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up if this helps you out. Now, before we go anywhere else, I need to be very clear about what this video is not. This is not a guilt trip. This is not a lecture about the virtues of meal prepping or a sermon about cooking your own food. This is not someone telling you that if you just stopped ordering delivery, you could retire a decade early and all your financial problems would disappear. That framing is lazy, and it completely misses the actual point. The point is not the food. The point is the financial architecture of how these platforms are engineered, and specifically how that architecture is deliberately designed to make the true cost of your habit permanently invisible to you until the moment you force yourself to look. So let us start with the number that almost every delivery user gets completely wrong. When the average DoorDash user is asked to estimate their monthly delivery spending, the number they give is almost always dramatically lower than their actual spending. There is a structural reason for this. When you order what appears to be a $28 meal, your brain records it as a $28 meal. That is the anchor. That is the number that gets mentally filed under food spending for the day. But here is what most people don't realize. The actual transaction is never $28. According to data tracking real food delivery costs across the major platforms, the average American spends $12.80 per order on fees, delivery charges, and tip, on top of the listed food cost. That $12.80 is not food. It is the infrastructure tax you pay for the convenience of not going to retrieve the food yourself. On an average order of $30, that fee structure alone represents a 43% markup above the menu price you saw when you decided what to order. Let me translate that into annual reality. At 3 orders per week, which sits on the moderate end of regular user behavior, you are placing approximately 156 orders per year. At $12.80 in fees per order, you are paying $1,996 per year in delivery fees, service charges, and tips alone. Not on food, not on nutrition, not on anything that satisfies hunger or creates memories or nourishes a single person. On the logistics wrapper placed around meals you were going to eat regardless. Almost $2,000 a year for delivery infrastructure. And that is before we account for something even more invisible that almost nobody talks about: menu inflation. Here is where it gets really interesting. Most people have absolutely no idea that restaurants routinely charge between 15 and 30% more for the exact same menu items on third-party delivery apps compared to what they charge inside their own restaurant or through their own website. This is not hidden from you. It is entirely legal. Restaurants inflate their app prices specifically to offset the 15 to 30% commission that DoorDash charges them on every single transaction processed through the platform, which means the consumer ends up paying the restaurant's commission charge twice, once embedded into the inflated menu price and a second time through the platform's own visible service fee. You are funding the platform's business model from both directions simultaneously, and the interface is carefully designed so that you never quite perceive it that way. So when you believe you are ordering a $30 meal, the realistic all-in cost is closer to $48 to $52 once you account for the menu markup, the delivery fee, the service fee, and a standard tip. The actual food represents roughly half the transaction value. The other half is the cost of the convenience layer that has been engineered around it. Now let me show you what this pattern adds up to across a full year for someone who considers themselves an ordinary, moderate, completely unremarkable user. 3 orders per week. Average food costs $30 before any fees. Platform fees, delivery charge, and tip, $12.80. Menu inflation markup of approximately 20% on the food items themselves, $6. Total real cost per order, approximately $48.80. Times 156 orders per year, $7,612 annually. That is the annual cost of being a moderate food delivery user in America in 2024. Not a power user. Not someone whose friends and family are quietly concerned about their habits. A person who orders 3 times a week and has never once thought of it as anything other than a routine, convenient, completely forgettable behavior. Now, you might be thinking, Kevin, I genuinely do not order 3 times a week. Maybe once or twice at most. And look, perhaps that is accurate. But here is what the actual data shows. According to DoorDash's own 2024 research, 86% of delivery app users place orders through third-party platforms at least twice a month. Nearly half, 49%, order from their favorite restaurants through apps at least once a week. And YouGov data from late 2024 found that 28% of Americans use food delivery apps at minimum once every 7 days. We are not describing an unusual or problematic habit. We are describing the completely normalized default eating behavior of a very large portion of the American population. And the overwhelming majority of them have never once added it all up. Now I want to explain specifically why that is, because the math I just showed you is not complicated. It requires no financial expertise, no spreadsheet, no special knowledge. It is simple multiplication available to anyone with a phone and 2 spare minutes. So why does it feel like a genuine revelation when people actually sit down and do it? Why do otherwise thoughtful and financially aware people have almost zero real awareness of this number in their own lives? The answer is deliberate psychological architecture. And I want to explain this precisely because it is the most important section of this entire video. The DoorDash app is not simply a logistics platform that connects hungry people to nearby restaurants. It is a highly sophisticated behavior engineering system built by large teams of product designers, behavioral scientists, user experience researchers, and conversion rate specialists. Every single element of the interface, the food photography, the navigation flow, the reorder functionality, the rating prompts, the estimated arrival countdown, and critically the timing of fee disclosure, has been extensively tested and refined around one core objective: collapsing the psychological distance between the moment you feel hungry and the moment money leaves your account. Here's how it works in practice. You finish a long day. You are tired and slightly mentally depleted from hours of decision-making. You open the app. Not because you made a deliberate financial decision, but because the app is on your home screen, your phone is already in your hand, and the action requires approximately zero effort or intention. The food photography is beautiful, warm, and appetite-triggering. The interface feels completely familiar and comfortable. Your previous orders are pre-populated, so you do not have to think or evaluate or choose from scratch. The reorder button exists specifically to eliminate the cognitive friction of deciding. And then, this is the critical design choice, the complete transaction cost is not presented to you until the very final screen immediately before you confirm the order. The moment you feel the hunger-driven desire to order and the moment you see the actual full cost are deliberately separated by multiple screens, multiple micro-decisions, and multiple moments of escalating emotional investment in the specific meal you have now mentally committed to eating. By the time the $12.80 in fees appears on your screen, you have already spent 4 or 5 minutes choosing the restaurant, selecting the items, customizing the order, checking the estimated arrival time, and emotionally pre-experiencing the meal arriving at your door in 40 minutes. The fee appears not as a genuine decision point, but as a formality standing between you and the food you have already decided you are having. At that specific moment of committed anticipation, $12.80 feels genuinely and completely trivial. That psychological invisibility is not a side effect of poor design. It is the design. The engineers who built this experience understood that the pain of paying, the emotional discomfort that creates hesitation in any spending decision, is at its highest at the beginning of a transaction and at its lowest at the end. So they structured the complete experience to delay cost disclosure to the precise moment of minimum psychological resistance. And here is what makes this particularly consequential for long-term financial health. Because each individual order feels inconsequential and forgettable, the brain never naturally accumulates individual transactions into a felt financial pattern. You do not feel $7,600 leaving your account over the course of a year. You feel 156 separate small moments that each cost around $48. And $48, in the specific emotional context of hunger and end-of-day depletion, feels like a completely proportionate and reasonable thing to spend on dinner. The fragmentation of cost across individual transactions is precisely what keeps the annual number permanently invisible until the day you deliberately and consciously force yourself to see it as a whole. Here is what most people don't realize about the long-term opportunity cost buried inside this pattern. Suppose you are spending $500 a month on delivery, a completely realistic number for someone ordering 3 times a week in most American cities. And suppose you could realistically reduce that by $200 a month. Not eliminate delivery entirely, just reduce it by 40%. By cooking twice more per week than you currently do and treating the apps as a once-a-week reward rather than a daily default behavior. That $200 a month redirected into a broad index fund at 7% average annual return over 30 years becomes approximately $242,000. Not from a salary increase, not from a sophisticated investment strategy, from 2 additional home-cooked dinners per week, from roughly 90 extra minutes in a kitchen each week pointed at a different destination, 2 nights of cooking per week, $242,000 at retirement. The math is straightforward. The choice is entirely yours. Now here is the specific practical framework for actually making this change in a way that holds over time. Because I have observed enough financial behavior to know that showing someone a large number and telling them to spend less does not work. The behavior does not change because the psychological system that produces the behavior has not changed. So here is what actually works. Step 1. Do the audit today. Right now, after this video ends. Pull up every single delivery platform you have used in the past 12 months. Add them all up together. Write the combined total on a piece of paper and look at it for 60 full seconds without rationalizing or explaining it away. The invisibility of this spending is the entire problem. This step ends the invisibility. It converts an unconscious financial pattern into a conscious and visible one. That conversion is the most important action you can take today. Step 2. Set a specific monthly delivery budget in dollar terms before the month begins. Not a vague intention to order less. A number. A real, written-down number. If you currently spend $500 a month, set the limit at $300 for the next month. Load that exact amount onto a prepaid card or designate it as a named spending category. When the money is gone, it is gone for the month. The defined boundary makes each order a real decision rather than an automatic frictionless behavior. Step 3. Introduce a 15-minute rule for every delivery decision. Before opening any app, set a timer for 15 minutes and do literally anything else. Change clothes, drink a glass of water, look through the refrigerator, take a short walk. Research on impulse decision-making consistently demonstrates that urgency decreases significantly after a brief delay. The app is engineered to capture you at the peak of that urgency. The 15-minute rule allows the impulse to subside enough for a genuine evaluation to happen. A significant portion of the time you will find something to eat at home. Not because you became more disciplined, but because the acute moment simply passed. Step 4. Before completing any delivery order, spend 45 seconds checking whether the restaurant offers direct pickup. In most cases, you will find that menu prices are 15 to 20% lower without the platform markup, and eliminating the delivery fee while reducing the tip saves an additional $8 to $14 per transaction. On a single weekly order, this habit alone saves between $700 and $950 per year from one behavioral change requiring less than 1 minute of additional effort. Step 5. On the first of every month before any delivery spending begins for that month, set an automatic investment transfer for whatever amount you have committed to redirecting from this category. Not when you feel motivated, not when the month goes well. On the first, automated, non-negotiable. The money moves before the month's spending decisions begin and before any particular evening's hunger and exhaustion have a chance to make the decision for you. Here's what I want to leave you with. DoorDash solves a real problem. Convenience has genuine and legitimate value. There are real moments in real lives when ordering delivery is the right call. I am not asking you to delete the app and never use it again. I am asking you to know the number. Your actual, complete, honest annual number. Because for most people watching this right now, that number is a genuine mystery. It accumulates silently in the background of a full and busy life, one tired evening at a time, one reorder tap at a time, until it is $4,000 or $6,000 or $7,600 sitting in a company's quarterly earnings report with your spending behavior contributing to it. The $6,000 did not feel like $6,000 while it was being spent. It felt like $47 on a Monday and $52 on a Thursday and $38 on a Sunday night. It felt like dinner. It felt like a reasonable response to being tired and hungry and busy and human. But added up, across a year, it is a number that could have been doing something completely different. Something that compounds quietly. Something that grows without requiring additional effort. Something that your future self would have been genuinely and deeply grateful for. Do the audit. Write down the number. Then make one conscious decision today about what that number should be in the next 12 months. Drop your actual annual delivery total in the comments if you are willing to look it up. I promise you will not be the highest number in the thread. And if you know someone who orders regularly and has never once added this up, share this video with them today. That 60 seconds of seeing the real number might genuinely be the most financially consequential thing they do this entire year. I'm Kevin. Know the number. I'll see you in the next one.